Good morning, it's Mr. Smith here, and today we're going to do some work on something called spreadsheets. So it sounds complicated and it looks complicated, but I can promise you that we'll make it easy. There's going to be a second video for you to watch as well on a different day. So what you've got on a spreadsheet is you've got a number of columns, and you can see they're labelled A, B, C, and that goes on and on and on. And then you've got a number of rows as well. So these are numbered 1, 2, 3, and again it goes down to a very big number. You've also got something in the corner, a little arrow that will allow you to highlight the whole lot, which is quite useful, which we'll come to on video 2. So what I want you to do is just have a little look at this and just see if you understand what it's for or what it might be used for. And on this spreadsheet we've just got 4 columns. So perhaps pause the video and think about what this is for or what it might be used for, or also who might use it. Okay, so hopefully you thought, well, this is a really nice list of different technological things that you might use or you might buy, and it could be used by a shop or an online store. So in column 1 it tells you the name of the device, so like a tablet computer. It doesn't say what make it is. If it was my shop I'd put in what make it was. It tells you the cost and the number of sold. So hopefully, if you do a little bit of maths there, if you sold 2 at £50, 2 lots of 50 make 100. And then down here you've got how many of each item is sold. And then perhaps have a look at the bottom. What do you think that might be? So hopefully you've worked out that that is the total of all those subtotals. So it's called subtotal there. Those are the individual lines. And then this is the total money coming in from selling the items. Notice it doesn't tell you how much you bought them for. So for example, the tablet, you might have bought it in at your shop for £35 and then you sold it at 50. So we might be better, instead of it saying cost, to put in here selling price. So that's how much you sold it in the shop for. So you can edit these, so it's really nice. Now one thing I noticed when I open this is it looks a bit strange because you've got the lines aren't all in there. So what we could do is we could click on that and we could go up to here and we could put all borders in, and then it'll do some individual borders, which actually make it nicer to read. Also, I notice in some schools on spreadsheets they might highlight every other row to make it easier to follow. So let me just show you. So that would be cream. It's a little bit fiddly. Can you see? Because you've got to do this for each one, but it just means it's easier to follow when you read the spreadsheet, because as you go along, can you see notebook, laptop is cream, so you can see that and follow it along, whereas laptop, the one above, is white. So that might be something you want to do. Now I'm doing this on a spreadsheet on an iPad, and it's free. It's using something called Office 365, and it's just the free version. But it does mean that your family need to create you a free account. They'll need to do that for you. In school, you're probably going to use Excel on your laptops. Some people also use Google Sheets, which again your family will set up for you if you're interested, or if you've got it available on a tablet or a laptop. So this is something you can do at home. Right, couple more things before I go. One thing you can do is if you go to data, you can sort. So can you see it says tablet at the top, but I might want them in alphabetical order. So I could choose sort ascending or sort descending. So can you see it comes to G at the top? Now that hasn't worked for some reason. Oh, I can see why it hasn't worked. Maybe you can spot why it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked because I highlighted a particular title, a column D. So I need to go there, and then I will sort ascending, and then it will put them into alphabetical order. Now on a computer it always puts numbers to the top, so it put 4K at the top, and then C, E, G, and so on. Now it might be, let's just try that sorting based on a particular column. So we've got to check this because we want to make sure that they don't get mixed up. So we've got to remember that the HD video camera is 129. So let's just try that. If it doesn't work, we'll cover it in video 2 in a little bit more detail. So let's click on D and sort ascending. And can you see now the cheapest one is at the top? So sorry, not the cheapest, the number sold, the subtotal there is 0 because we haven't sold any. And then if I do it, but just to check, this is what I want you to check, that it had moved all the rows, the whole row. So do you remember I asked you to check that 129 is still 129. So let's just do it based on the selling price, just in case I went too quickly there. So I'm clicking anywhere, I'm clicking on column B, and then I'm going to go to sort descending. So that's going to be the most expensive at the top. So that might be something like the smartphone. Let's just see. No, sorry, smart TV was $799, gaming laptops $999. Now notice that the way that I've worked with once you sort, all the cream obviously gets moved around, so you might not want to necessarily do that shading as I suggested earlier. But just to get rid of that shading, if you want to, you would just highlight those. You can highlight more than one row. So I've highlighted 3, and then I went to home, and then I want those to be white again. There we go. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully you will be keen to look at video 2 when I make video 2. And in video 2 I'm going to show you how to automatically get it to add up the total. So can you see here it says 80,270. If I just pretend I've sold 2 mobile phones instead of 1 by putting 2 in there and click on the tick there, the total stays the same. Can you see that? And the subtotal, so 2 lots of 49.99 should be £99.98. So I'm going to show you how to automatically calculate the subtotals and the overall total income.